Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7 o'clock feed for Plannercraft. My name's Ian, and today I will be showing you through Canvas Workspace, which is the desktop version. We'll just let a few people get to us and join in.
I'll just show where to get it from to start with, in case people haven't already got it.
Next time it's my line dance class, would you? There we go. So, if you don't already have it, you want to go to the same place you go for your online version of Brother. So canvasworkspace.brother.com. Can you see me on Facebook okay?
Let me just flick back. Let's have a look. Yep, I can see you fine.
Okay.
Okay, and so far we have Sarah Lou.
Evening, Sarah.
And also, if it'll let me scroll, we have Carol.
Evening,
and
Carol.
Zena.
Evening, Zena. Hope you're all well this evening.
And Mom.
Hey all.
By the end of lockdown, Mom's going to be able to use a scan and cut.
No, I can't show them where to get it from off Brother because due to the server maintenance, the website's not available.
Ah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
This is why you need the desktop version.
Yes, if you don't rely on these things. So normally, when you go to Canvas Workspace, it usually pops up telling you that you can download the desktop version. So apologies
We're
for that.
fortunate that we already have it.
We already have the latest version installed, so hallelujah for that. So, starting with our, don't forget, if you have any questions, don't forget to ask or pop them in the comments.
Yeah, I am here. And
Yeah, Natalie's here in spirit. She's busy doodling and drawing and doing other things. I'm not quite sure what she's up to tonight, but she's having a play, I think, with some ink text blocks. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you bring in your little holder?
No, I didn't bring in the holder because I'm at home.
An empty. Yeah. Oh.
I
Anyway.
only brought them in for a quick play, so.
Yeah.
Was it?
So, when you first open Canvas, this is the screen that you end up with after you've logged in. Once you log in with Canvas, if you leave the box ticked at the bottom logged in, it will automatically go through to this screen for you. And it tends to stay logged in so it doesn't hide it away. It comes up with this delightful little box which has all your Canvas projects on that you can download and play with, exactly the same as you do online. Has the pattern collection, and if we click on this one it'll take you back to the website for the Disney ones. So those are all the same. So we can just close this. If we do want that back at any time, it just hides itself up here on the top corner. Now, as it says in the description, this is going to be a very basic beginner's walkthrough on Canvas again, and we are just walking through
We
all
just
the
want to get
bits.
people up to speed.
So yeah, we're just trying to get everybody back up to speed so everybody's seen all the ones, even though I've done it before. Just do it again just to make sure everybody's happy. I don't mind doing it again. I'm doing it
Carol
over.
says, does that mean if Mum learns how to use a scan and cut that I'll have to give it back?
Probably, yeah. But anyway, so on the side here, I'll go down this side first. We have our shapes, which is our basic shapes, and it opens a little menu at the side. This is what you'd normally expect to find when you open.
Sorry.
That's alright, you carry on rubbing away. When you open canvas for the first time, this is usually already popped out at the side. So we've got all our basic shapes. We've got polygons, triangles, circles, all the usual bits, and all your others, including some extra bits that you don't get on the scan and cuts. But it covers all models, I think. So you have all of those. You have your borders, exactly the same, and you have your fun words, as they've now renamed it rather than their logos.
Was that fun words?
The fun words, yes.
Must
The button
have
says
updated.
fun, and the words, it says words at the top rather than logos. These are all the same ones that are on your scan and cut anyway. I think there's a few extras, but not many. So there we go. That's all of those. I'm not going to go through all of them, you'll be there forever. If you want to put any of them on your mat, simply click and it'll put one on your mat. And you can then move that around. And do it up. So we can delete that one. Next one down is your text button. So if you want to put text, click the button, click on your mat, and away it goes. Press enter, and there you have your text. I can only do single line text, so if you want to do more than one line, put them in individually. But at least now with text you can do things like curve it and other things which I'll go into in a short while after. Just to show how you can curve your text. Just go down this one slide for a moment just to show you the how we can do different bits. Excuse me. The advantage of Canvas and the desktop version is now you can change your font, and you can change it to any font that is on your computer. So anything we like, then we think, oh, we like that one, and it will change it. So you can have nice scripted fonts rather than just the bog standard boring ones. I'm sure Brother don't think they're boring, but we can make it smaller and larger depending on what we want to do. But delete that out for a moment. Next one is import from a computer. So this is for your SVG files. So if we click the button, it automatically goes into our documents folder and looks for SVG files. I don't seem to have any in there. No.
What do you want?
It's okay. I can go to Dropbox. And design bundles. Here's the mega collection. Should we use the same one we used yesterday? We use the doggy design bundles. And we picked an SVG. So if we go down. So that one will do. And that's the one we had yesterday. And bring it in, and there we go. Yeah, it's exactly the same as I had for yesterday. So this spot's reserved for Macs. Again, it's got your font names and the copyright on it. If you need them, you can keep. If you don't,
Yeah. We're not saying that you should permanently delete them out of there, what we're saying
No,
is just
I think
for sending it to machine.
yes, because if you leave it there and when you send it to your machine,
It will.
it will keep it there. So we can see on the side here, it's brought it all in separate layers again. So if you wanted to group the entire first bit, we can use Command and G, or Control and G, depending if you're on a PC. And we can do the same with this one. And that's just a shape on its own. Okay. Any questions so far?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. So we've had a few new people join in. So we have Margaret, Michelle and Sarah Lou.
Sarah Lou was already here.
Oh, she must have hopped out and come back again.
Or it's doing that silly thing like it did last time.
Yeah. Oh, Mum said, didn't she?
Yeah. So, welcome to the people who've joined us since we started. If there's anything I've missed or anything you don't know, please ask. And we'll go back and do them again. I'll just delete those for now. Get rid of those. So, image tracing. So, can I bring up your image?
Yeah, go on then.
Or not?
Go on then.
Well, no, because if you want to keep it a surprise, I won't. No, I won't, because you want to keep it a surprise. So, we can import from our folder. Back in the same one, we're looking for PNGs or JPEGs or GIFs or any other. So, let's bring in a paw print. We should be able to do that. Let's do some text. Bring in a PNG file. It'll process it. That's done quite well for considering. So you can see here it's outlined every letter. It hasn't done the inside of the letters, which could be problematic. But it is on trace the outer edge only. So because we want it to do the inside edge as well, do you have to do the enhanced?
What, to do the inside?
Yeah.
No, if you want it outer edges only, it should be able to do.
No?
No? Okay, try the enhance then. If it won't play ball, go to the enhanced one.
So that's better. So that's actually picked up all the inside edges now, look, as well. Which it didn't do before. And there's trace the outer edge only down there. By numpty or...
Yep.
Oh, I couldn't see it, so let's go back to the other one. Oh, no. So if we press OK, and that will bring in all our bits. And that's the original image underneath. And to be honest, it hasn't done that very well.
What, enhanced? Did you tell it what to do?
Yeah, I told it not to bring in just the outside layers, but it's just traced around the outside. Like the H, for instance, it hasn't taken the inside edges. Yeah. And the dogs, it's not done it either. That's weird. You would have thought it would have.
Yeah, but it won't take it out unless you tell it to take it out.
No, but on the...
Right, if you go into enhanced image tracing.
Let's start that one again, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, trace. Image from computer. Same one?
Yeah.
So it's a PNG.
Mhm.
And to open. It doesn't pick up all these bits.
Right. Take it off, trace outer edge only.
I can't.
You can.
It doesn't come off.
Ian, seriously. Come on, take it off, outer edge only.
Right, so.
You had trace areas by colour that you could have done.
So, this is where it says here. Yeah. So I took that off.
Okay. But do it by colour. Because you've got a nice flat image. Do it for what it's meant for. So there you go.
Oh, let's pick it up. Okay. I don't claim to know everything. Never have. Probably human.
Bright solid colour like that, if you do it by colour, you'll get better results.
There you go. And there we go, we can see this time it's actually done a better job. Picked up all the bits as well. So now if we want to do a particular part, little group, that's why. So let's ungroup it all, and then we can group the bits. All together, and then we can group that bit, and then we know that it's all one word. And then we can do.
The other thing to note is if you do the by colour and you have a hole in the middle of a letter, it will trace that as a shape as well as the hole in the outer shape, if that makes sense. So where you've got wanna, you've actually got two sets of drawing lines around the middle, which is why it looks slightly darker.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that. Let's group all the bits. Bits that we got floating then.
Oh, that's so true.
What's so true?
It's a good job I look after you.
As to why, when you were doing yours?
You're thinking always to my team coming up.
So, that one I could delete, couldn't I?
You need to be a bit more.
Sorry. I was just going back on what Natalie was saying. So where she was saying that you've got the duplicates on the shapes for the centre bits, you can just go through and just delete them, because obviously they're already there. So you can delete them out, and then you won't have your machine doing multiple lines whilst it's doing your designs. So here you can see there's 4 of them in this one. So we can delete all of those. And you can see they just go back to single lines. So here where they're still, I haven't done, they're quite dark still. So the other ones that I have done, they go back to just single lines. So what I'm doing to delete is just pressing backspace to delete. If you have a keyboard with the delete key on, it doesn't seem to work. So just press backspace and it'll get rid of it for you. There you go. And then that's, as we want to send to the machine, we can move it around, we can rearrange it and put it how we want to on the mat. So if we want to do all these different colours, we could just cut them out and rearrange it so you got them all in the right places. And that's how we bring in a JPEG or a PNG and sort it out in here. Also with our groups, we can name them. So if we want to do it easy, we can call that one just by clicking on it. And then we just click again. And just rename each one as you go through. So we go with. And we got dogs in this one. And I apologise for my non-capitalisations of letters, I'm terrible for it. I'll just do it for speed more than anything else. So we change them all. And we can call that one day. And then we can call this Paul 1. And Paul 2. That's why I put capital letters on those. And then you've just got your background image at the bottom there. And once you're happy that you've got everything that you need, you can delete your background image if you want to, or just turn it off, either way. Thing to note with your turning things on and off at the side here, if you send a bit to your machine and it's turned off, it won't send that particular bit, so it'll only send what it can see on the mat. So when you send things to your machine, make sure what you're seeing on the screen is what you want to be sending to your machine, because otherwise you end up sending the wrong bits. Other things we can change in the layer settings. Here we've got it set to a cut. If we want it to draw, we can go up the top here and we can change the entire group to draw, or we can change it back to cut. Now, regardless of how you've set this up in any other program, when you bring it into Canvas, it will automatically assume that all your lines are cut lines. So if you want something to draw that you've originally put as a draw line somewhere else in a different program, you will have to reset it in here as a draw line. Otherwise it won't do a draw, it will cut it. And then you get the problems that people go onto their machines, go to draw, and there's nothing on their screen because all their lines have been reset by the computer to cut, and it does it automatically. They've yet to find a way of bringing things in without
having to do a manual set.
Having to do a manual changeover. But you can't set it to a cut or draw line, if it makes sense. So you can't have both on the same. It's either a cut or it's just a draw line. You can't have it set as both like you can on the online version, which is probably one of the only downfalls of the software. So I think it would be a great feature if they added it, because it makes life so much easier. That way they could bring it in as a cut or draw, and then you could set it as you wanted rather than bring it in as a cut. If you want to lock a layer and you're happy with where it is, we have little padlocks, and once that padlock is set, you won't be able to click that on your mat. I can click any other part on my mat, but the one that I've locked, I can't select it, I can't move it, I can't do anything with it. If I unlock it, I can pick it up, I can move it around. So that's another good feature if you're doing lots of intricate designs or you're happy with where something is on your mat. Lock it and it'll stay in place. And at least that way then you'll know that it's where it is and you can't do anything with it. It takes a lot of the stress out of worrying about if you move something by accident. That's another good feature on here. Okay. So I'll delete those for a moment. So our next tool on here is our path tool. This is one of Natalie's favourites. Now you can draw your straight lines, and if you hold shift it will keep it to a straight line, so it constrains it for you to make the shapes that you're looking to make. So going back to the house that I was trying to draw yesterday, and as you close the shape it finishes your house for you. If you wanted to leave your line open, so say I want to draw a line across the two here, I draw it along there, click, and now because we want to finish that line there, we click it again and it draws it as a single line and it leaves it with the path open. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, oh, good. See, I've learnt something. If I want to curve my line, he says, let's draw another one using the path tool. So there, if I press and click and hold, I can then bend and twist my with these two anchors. And the further out they go, the more it bends out. The closer they are, the less it bends. Ooh, that's weird. If you press and hold shift, it gives you a whole new bendy function.
Has it done an update today or something? Is that why the server's playing up by any chance?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird. I've not seen it do that before. Oh, I have to do it for a bendy line, do I?
I've not
Play with that a bit more.
with Canvas today.
So go back to our pen tool and click and hold and drag. And then if we press shift once we've made it bendy and let go, it bends it the other way. Look, I can bend it.
Huh? Yeah, it'll take your previous curve.
Yeah, but if you press shift, it sort of, I click there to bend that one, and when you press shift it moves it onto the next node as such.
Okay.
I've not seen it do that before. There you go, learned something new. Any questions?
Nope.
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 I haven't lost everybody yet.
Totally quiet out there actually.
Yeah, that's not very good, is it?
No.
So you have your freehand tool, which is the last one, which allows you to draw away any way that you want to. Make a Loch Ness monster. Oops. And if you do make any mistakes in the way, if you go to your select tool and click twice on it, you can see here it pulls all my nodes up, and I can manipulate my nodes if I want to move them. I can. So I can get the one in there. I could move it down. Next. Can play them, do silly things and mess them up. Natalie's the expert on nodes, really. Hi dear.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some node work tomorrow, so.
Ah, there you go.
We'll be
So,
doing.
going back to our shape on here, once you have a shape selected, you have options that appear at the top here. So we have the zoom percentage on your map, so you can see how much you're zoomed in. Whether or not you have cut or draw lines, which you can change. Your fill options. Again, don't make much difference to when you send it to the machine. They are purely there for your benefit from the screen, so you can see the difference between different shapes. Good when you're doing lots of different shapes, doing multicoloured HTV, something like that, and you're layering it up. It's always good. You can change your colours, you can fill them different colours. And the same for your line colours. If you want to keep one blue for your draw and one green for something else, or you can again use the different line colours. Again, make no difference when you send it to the machine. It will just draw the lines, as you'll see. If as long as you've got it set to draw, it will just draw it as you do.
Okay. Yes, you can catch up after the stream. Yes, you can bend it like Beckham. Zeno is completely lost. So, Zeno, can you tell me where you got lost from, and I will sort him out.
I will backtrack. I will stop for a second while I'm waiting. Any update?
Nope. Come on, Zena. I need to know where you're completely lost from, please.
Any update?
No.
You know?
Did you go through the tools right down to basics?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still going through the tools.
Carol says she's not very good with the path tool, so do you want to do it more with the path tool?
With the path tool, so with this one down here. With that path tool. So if you're drawing just straight lines, and you click your first spot, you can use it just to draw a straight line, and if you press and hold shift, it will constrain it to a straight line, and it will keep it straight along your line. And when you click, it then draws the next point. And again, if you want to keep it straight, you press and hold shift, and again press and hold shift, and again. If you make a shape, it will close it and that is known as a closed shape. Because all four corners join up and make a shape. If you are to do a line that doesn't have an end, so if we just draw a straight line up, say we're doing a dotted line, say for argument's sake, you can just click on it twice and then you can set it as a dotted line, and then when you click off it, then you have your score line as a dotted line. So again, to do that one, go to Path Tool, which is P. We select our start point, our end point, holding Shift so it puts it straight. We click once to confirm that's where we want our line to end, and then again to close the path, or to leave the path open I should say. It stops it, and then we can rotate the line if we want to. And again, holding Shift will constrain it to the angles.
Alright, no, if you're on an iPad you need to go back to the one we did last night.
No wonder she's lost.
Yeah, because
Looks completely different.
Yeah.
Has that helped, Carol?
To be honest, the only way you're really going to get good with the path tool is practicing, because then you start to understand the relationship between right. Christine, very quickly to answer your question, it will default so that all lines that you create are cut lines. So they are all cut lines until you tell it otherwise.
Yes.
So, would you like us to show you how to set it to a draw next? I think would be a good one.
Yeah.
I think Christine came in a bit late, so
Okay.
just...
So we have our shape selected down the bottom here. There's two ways we can change it to a cut line or draw line. We can go up the top here, where it says operation.
I'll see you tomorrow, Zena. I will pop up a link for last night's stream as well, just in case you can't find it. And hopefully this will work.
Change it to draw, and then that's set as a draw line. The way we can check is over here in our layers panel, which is this one here, and it changes it here to a draw. We can also change our lines up here. If we want to change it to a cut or draw, we just click on the little icon, and we can change it there as well. And again, and to change it back, exactly the same. So just click on it, and it gives you the option to cut or draw. And again, we can do the same at the top, up here. Okay.
Okay.
So, coming over to the far side now, we have our properties panel. So again, we can see here at the top, it's got cut there, and we can change it to cut or draw. It has our fill options, our line width, which we can change.
Make it a wine list and I'm done with it.
Again, this makes no difference to your machine what you set this to. It will only cut
through the middle of that line.
Through the middle of the line. It won't actually make your line any bolder on the outside or anything else. Here again, we can also set the line if we want it to a dash or dots or anything else. So if we wanted it as a dot line, and when we click off it, you can see there it's got a dash pattern around the outside.
Zena's found it on YouTube. That's fine.
Cool. If we had some text, I'll put some in quickly just so we can see. We can then select here, we can change what text we have, what font we have. We don't have to use the one at the top, we can use the one at the side. And we can just select the font that we prefer. Again, we can see all the fonts we have on our machine. And we can change it if we want to. One thing we can change is the spacing between the letters. So if we need it closer up, if it's a not a joined up font and you want to join it up to weld, you can use your character spacing to bring it all together so that you can weld it. So if I make that a bit bigger so you can see. You can see here all our letters don't quite join up. So we can bring our spacing in. And although it puts these little bits in here, we can take those out afterwards with taking out our nodes and get rid of the little notches. These bits can go. This little bit here if you wanted to. So when it welds it makes one nice shape rather than having little niggly bits.
Is that technical speak, that?
Ah yeah, very technical that. So if I want to then align why would you do that for an alignment? That's a cut line. So is that okay. Let's see if it'll do that way. Okay. Let's do it a different way. It's playing silly buggers tonight. So, take some basic shape. Let's put in a couple of basic shapes just to put them on the mat. If I want to align these, why are my alignments not coming up?
Have you got more than 2 shapes selected? And are they definitely not grouped?
Yeah. I have 3 shaped, 3 selected and it's still not coming up. What's going on with this tonight?
Could just be server issues. I'll come and have a look. I just started watercolouring, so if I stop I'm going to get a tide mark.
No, that's fine, you carry on. I was up with the, I like to be with the text, that's why. It's okay. So, in the properties, it's okay. And we can align our shapes to the left, to the right, centre, middle, top, bottom. We can distribute them evenly. There you go, so that's moved it into the centre of those 2 shapes. We could align them to centre. Should we want to weld it all as one? We can check our spacing between so we can make it bigger. Or we can make it smaller. So if we want them to overlap slightly, drop it to 0.0. There we are. Down to 2, maybe a little bit more because if I'm going to weld it together. We don't want any knobbly bits. Another technical term, that knobbly bit. And then if we did want to weld that, I still missed by a little bit, but hear me, little knobbly bits. But to get rid of those is nice and easy. Take another square, shrink it down so it fits over my knobbly bits. Select them both, weld again, and there it goes. So that does that. Here we have our where it is on the mat. So this is the positioning on the mat, so if we want to move it around, you'll see it changes as we pick it up and move it. And here we have our sizing. So if I go to the side here and bring it in, you can see it changes as we bring the size in. If we wanted to do it independently, so one side or the other, we can untick the maintain aspect ratio, and then we can stretch it and distort it as we want to. Otherwise we can tick the box again, and that will keep it then in that ratio. We can rotate it. Ooh, 454, 45 degrees. And if it was print, we can flip it both ways. And put it back where it was. Down the bottom here you may notice this one that says text, and it has fit to path. Now this one, if we have a, let's go for an octagon for something different, rather than always putting circular text in. And we go to our text tool, put in some text. Company name. So we then select both, and here we can set path, and it goes around our shape. So now if we go back to our properties one, there we go, we have our alignment tools. So we can check the distribution, so it goes all the way around. We can assign it to one side, to the centre, to the left. We can go to the middle, so it actually puts it between, if you see there, actually put it across. We can assign it to the inside, and we can change which way round it goes. So if it starts Planocraft at the bottom or at the top. Also now if you select your text, you can change where your font sits just with the little plus mark here, so it rotates it, and then if we flick that back around the right way, so there we've got it on the inside of the shape there if we wanted it. Spacing on that is absolutely awful.
That's okay because you can fix it.
Yeah. I really don't like that font, so let's change that font to something a bit more readable. And there we go. Well, if we want to make it just that bigger. That's interesting, it won't let me change the character spacing.
If you press it so that you go to the middle vertical alignment, you'll find it looks better.
I have, yes, I've just done that and it's picked it up nicely on the middle. I'm just trying to get it so it reads almost right. There you go. It's probably not the best shape to have picked because it's
Awkward.
an awkward shape, yes, but you get the general gist that you can do that to any shape or path that you put in, it will shape to. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. What you must do once you've happy with your text is convert it to shapes. So once you do this and you're happy, it gets rid of this inner light blue bit that you can see. So this bit here will disappear, and it will just leave the text as one. So if we click convert to shapes, so there you can see now that it's all one. And we can move it around and we can resize that as we see fit. If you wanted to. So our next button down here is our offset button, so I'll take the text out for a moment because I'll just use this one for an offset.
We can do it to a path.
What, the offset? So with the offset, what it does is we can go, same as we can on most, we can set how far we want our offset to go, whether we want it to go outward or inward. You can see here it changes in our little diagram. How we want the corners to go, if we want them rounded or beveled. So given that this one's got nice rounded corners, we'll keep them rounded. And what we want it to do with the original line. So if you're doing it round a shape to put in a matte layer behind it, you may want to change your inside layer to either a drawing line, or you may want to delete it just to have the matte on your matte, if that makes sense, a matte layer on your matte. I'll set mine to a drawing line, so it sets the inside box to a drawing line. And if it has inside bits, so if you have your letters, you can tick the box or untick the box, and then it'll do the inside of your letters as well if you have lots of letters, as we don't on this one. I'll press OK, and there we can see it's created a nice 5mm offset around our shape. I do tend to find that this one does it much better than the online version for doing the offset. I think it does a better job of tracing around the outside. I don't know what you think, but yeah. And as we can see in here on our layers, I
don't usually use it to do my offset, so
no. As you can see here, it's set our original shape as a draw line, as it says here, and the top there, our outside box, is a cut line. So it quite happily does that all by itself. Any further questions at the moment?
nope, not at the moment.
No? Okay.
Pete's joined the feed at some point.
Evening Pete, if you're still on. So, last but not least, we've been through the layers button, so I'll go through the artboard button. And this just relates to your actual artboard, what you see on the screen. So you can change the size of your artboard. So from 1224, 12 by 12. If you prefer working in inches, you can swap all your measurements to inches. Whether or not it shows the ruler, so it'll take it off and it'll put it back. Always note that naught on this one actually lines up with the edge of your mat. So if you move your mat around using the hand tool, it will stay with it. And when you zoom in, if you then bring it down and across, your naught will always stay with the edge of your mat. Depending what you use. So I tend to leave that on. You can have the matte image on if you want to, so it actually shows basically what your mat looks like with its normal presentation. Or you can turn it off. It's a preference, whether you will like it there or not, entirely up to you. You have to show the grid, again, entirely up to your preference whether or not you like to have it on. I tend to leave it on, so when I'm doing designs, at least I can count my squares across the top, because you have exactly the same on here as you do in your mat, as long as you have your grid spacing set to 1 inch. So you usually have 12 across the top, which we do. And you can have snap to grid. So if you have snap to grid enabled, it basically means when you're doing a design, it will snap to your grid points. It will snap to each of these, the nearest grid point, when you pop something onto your mat, or if you're moving things around. And then your grid spacing, if you want to make it bigger, you can have it up to 2 inches, and it goes right down to ½ an inch, or ¼ inch, sorry. So you have lots of squares on there. Again, the ¼ inch are handy if you're doing lots of detailed work and lots of path work, and you want the snap to grid on and doing lots of intricate little lines, because that way it'll snap to each little line, so you can just have it tiny intricate lines. Most of the time people just leave it on 1 inch and are happy with that.
Yeah, there are very precise occasions when I'll tell you to do that.
Yes, but it's very few, isn't it? They're not.
Yeah, it tends to be when we're doing boxes and things like that.
Yeah. The only other last little bit is up the top here. So on your Brother Workspace, it tells you about and how to quit. In your file, if you want a new one, so if you want to start a fresh project, you have Command and N. Open, Command and O. Open recent, so all the ones that you've had open recently will be there. Save. Now when you save a file from Canvas, if you do save, it will save your file as a Canvas Workspace project file, which is CWPRJ file, and it's only openable in Canvas. So in any other program won't be able to open it. Not even your machine can open it. If you go to save as, I don't think it gives you much more options, I don't think. It still only saves it as a, but it means you can change the title. So if you've made changes to it and you want to keep your originals, you can use save as. If you want to save it in a format that your machine can read, you need to export it as an FCM file. Now your FCM file is a fabric cutting machine file, and it recognises it on your machine, so that way you can then save it to a USB or direct to your machine if you've got it connected up via a printer cable, and you can send it to your machine. If you have the Wi-Fi set up and your machine is capable on the Wi-Fi, you can transfer the file via the internet and it will send it straight to your machine. The other two ones here, if you want to import an image from your computer, so back to the image tracing, the little spade shape, and then that is how you do it from file. And if you want to import it from your machine, you can import an FCM file, so one of your saved projects that you have on your machine, or you can do a scanned image if you wish to. So if you scan something through your scanner, you can import it into Canvas through scanned image. You have edit, undo, redo if you've undone something and want to do it again, cut, copy and paste, select all, your line operation, so again you can set it here from cut and draw. Resize just brings up the resize box. You can flip it, you can align it, so if you want it left, right, top, bottom, middle, and your horizontal and verticals. You can do your welds, and here you can also still do your convert to shapes if you need to, if you haven't done any text, along with your fit to path. And you can create your offset all the same way. In your layers, you can duplicate, so if you want to duplicate something, you can just click duplicate, or you can press Alt when you put it on your map. So if I want to duplicate, I'll just change that back to the pointer tool, selection tool. If I want to duplicate it, I press and hold Alt, it makes an exact copy.
Do you want to just go through the shortcuts quickly?
Yeah, can I just finish doing me?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. And again, now we can see up here, so we can show and hide, we can lock them, we can unlock also if we've got them locked. We can group, ungroup and arrange. If we want to send something to the back or bring it forward, we can do that here. On your display, it's just your zooms and your units, so if you want a quick way to change it rather than going back to your artboard menu, you can just change it at the top here. And you got your window and help if you want to check for updates. If you want to get to your account settings for anything, you can click here and it will take you to the when it's working, I should say. When it's working, I'll add that in. You can go to the account settings page and you can pull up there all your account settings, see if you've got your machines registered, and you can update your account information if you want to. Okay. Now I'm just saying about the shortcuts, things you can use on the keyboard. So starting across the top for your selection tool, so the one that allows you to move things around, you can press V, which makes it the selection tool. You have your hand tool, which is H, which means you can move the mat and not the items on the mat. It's very handy when you've got it zoomed in. Z for zoom, and that means you just put your percentage into that one. Operation, there is no shortcut for. If you want to group something, it's Command or Control and G. And ungroup, I believe, is Command Shift G or Control Shift G.
In most programs that will work.
So yeah, that works in both. So you have Command or Control and Shift to ungroup, or without Shift to group, depending on how you want to do it. As I just said, if you press Alt with an item selected, oh, wrong one, it will duplicate and change, just keep it the same again, and you can keep doing that over and over and over if you wanted to. Undo, Command Z. Always a handy one to have. Command Shift Z to redo. Or does redo not have a shortcut? Command Y to redo. There
I was going to say, it's different on Canvas to any other program.
Yes. So if you want to redo your last move, if it can, you're looking at Command or Control and Y, which will bring it back. And there's no shortcut to your basic shapes, or your text tool is the letter T, and your path tool is a P, and freehand path is an F. That'll bring all those up for you. If you forget any of your shortcuts, if you go up to your menu at the top, it does tell you all of them up the top there. So anything you're not sure about, you can just have a look at the top and it will bring them all up for you. Okay. Anything else? I think I've covered everything today.
So you've brought in a PNG, a JPEG.
Oh, I haven't opened a file. That's what I was going to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if we select all, which is Control A to select all, just delete that out of here. Let's put that back to the layers for a minute, 'cause it's going to bring in lots of layers. So if you want to open a particular file, you need to have, for Canvas, a Canvas Workspace file. So we have one in here. It's one of the designs we've done. I don't want to save the changes to the one underneath because it's saying, do I want to change them? I don't. It'll process. And there we go. And then you see at the side here, we've got lots of different bits at the side. There's actually a file we were asked to create with somebody. Oh, I do wish I wouldn't do this. When it does bring it in, it will bring in each layer and it will leave it open.
Yeah, each group.
Each group will be open. So as you can see there, if I go into layer 1, there's lots of different groups, lots of duplicates, but it does it for every single way down. So the quick way to get rid of those is you just click your arrow at the top and it just drops it in. And you can swap between the layers in between each one. And like I said, when you send it to the machine, whichever one you have visible is what it will send to the machine. So always make sure what you want to send to the machine is on the screen. Anything else it won't send. If you have padlocks on there, it won't stop it sending it if it's padlocked. So you have to make sure that it's just not on your screen. So whatever is on your screen is what it will send to your cutting machine.
It doesn't recognise padlocks at all, so
No.
even if it's locked in Canvas, it won't be locked on your machine.
No. Okay. Apart from that, I think that's everything for tonight.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So thank you all very much for joining me tonight, and I hope it's been an insightful tour. If you do have any questions, do pop a comment in the group.
Or on our Discord.
Yeah, or on Discord, that you pick. We're available on both. Both of us are on there, so one of us will see the messages. And and please do get in touch. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock where Natalie's doing mixed media with the scan and cut, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll probably have a delivery halfway through
Yes.
some eyeliner.
Yeah, hopefully we'll look at getting some
And using colour in designer and things like that.
Yeah, and tomorrow evening at 7 I'm back doing a DX walkthrough. So if you have a DX machine and not quite sure what you're doing with it, then tomorrow will be my walkthrough of all the menus on the machine, and just a general walkthrough of all the bits on the machine and useful tips. And then Friday I'm also doing the CM models as well. So depending on which machine you've got, take your pick which one's Friday, tomorrow or Friday. Don't forget 10 o'clock in the morning you have Barbara, 12:30 we have Pete before he goes for his break.
You missed Lou.
Oh sorry, yeah, 12 o'clock you have Lou with us as well. 12:30 you have Pete, he's doing his last giveaway for the week and he's going off for a break for a bit. And then we're back at 2 o'clock and Leslie at 1:30 as well. So all in all, have a good night and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye.